All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, tough loss, right, against the 49ers week 1 Monday Night Football. There's so many things to clean up here. Good news, right? We're only 0-1, one game back from the division lead, and half the league is 0-1. It is what it is, right? We could put this 49ers game to bed and move forward to the Tennessee Titans game in week 2. Granted, it's in Tennessee. They blew the last game right against the Chicago Bears, so you can tell that they really want to get back on the field and rewrite some of the wrongs that they made with just careless turnovers and what have you. It's going to be a tough game, right? I don't want to write off Tennessee or anything, but I do like the Jets' chances still, even despite what we saw against San Francisco. But of course, before we officially dive into the Titans week, we have to talk about some of the main takeaways here. I think the first thing that needs to be talked about is the defensive line, right? We could not rush the passer. We could not stop the run. Very concerning, considering Christian McCaffrey didn't even play. And look, my hat goes off to Jordan Mason of the 49ers. He just was gashing the Jets defense all night. It was watching Mason just make that one cut at the line of scrimmage or dance for like a second and then put his foot in the ground and pick up like an 8-yard gain, a 9-yard gain. It was just, it just death by 1,000 cuts, right? It was you're watching this 49ers offense and they're just churning, right? And I talked about this in the recap video, but it's like first down positive yards, second down positive yards, third down positive yards, first to second to third, and then you're just repeating the cycle with the occasional chunk play of 15-20 yards thrown in there. But look, when you can't stop the run against a team that is, a team that runs an offense that's really built off the running game, you're going to be in for a long day, especially when you're in their house, especially when you're playing the NFC champions and a veteran play caller in Kyle Shanahan. You're just going to be toast if you cannot do that. Then when you stack on top of it, when the Niners do throw the ball, you're not getting in the backfield. Purdy's not touched. He's not even getting, thrown off his he's not getting thrown off platform where he has to sink back or continue to move, try to evade guys in the pocket. He's just back there totally clean, but just delivering short passes, the little turnarounds, the out routes that it felt like go for a first down every time Purdy threw one. Then you're really, really in trouble. Again, you can't stop the run for against a team that is built off of running the football, and then you can't rush the passer when they decide to throw it. How do you expect to have any success defensively if you're not even blitzing, right? You're only rushing your 4 down linemen, so you're dropping everybody back in coverage. I mean, that's solid year one, right? That's solid year one in San Francisco when he didn't have the talent, when he didn't have the pass rushers. Right before that Super Bowl season, the 49ers had the second pick in the draft where they went ahead and selected Bosa. Part of that thinking is, okay, we now can go out and get a guy who can rush the passer off the edge, and he fits that 4-3 system where we're not reliant on blitzing, sending extra players. Now, I'm a big fan of blitzing, but it's just not something that the Jets want to do in this style. So, again, going back to solid year one, we didn't have the pass rushers. And we saw we saw opposing offenses and quarterbacks just sit back there and pick us apart. Very tough to watch for sure. So the defensive line, and granted, it's not at its full potential. Lucky Fotu's hurt. Leonard Taylor, for some reason, was inactive. I was really excited to see him play today. But yeah, again, inactive. No Hassan Reddick, obviously. But it really felt like one of those games where, we really could have used a JFM. We really could have used a Bryce Huff. And also, for some reason, I don't know if you guys caught this, but late in the game, I want to say like start of the fourth quarter, it just looked like guys were winded. And it's surprising because of the amount of rotation that the Jets, do on the defensive line anyway. So you're thinking that these guys should have a lot of gas left in the tank as the game goes on. But, I was watching Clemens, and he, like at one point, he was just, knee on the ground, just huffing and puffing. It did look like conditioning was and granted, right? Credit to San Francisco, they were great in the trenches. I don't want to discount their performance, but again, it just really felt like the Jets were beat down on the defensive line. tough to watch. And at the end of the day, the Niners had 24 first downs, and 70 total plays. 70 plays. Now, Saleh did address it in the post-game presser, and he said that we're going to get this crap fixed. So we'll see. We'll hold Saleh to his word and see what happens. We'll also see if Reddick comes in, right? Is he willing to skip, or get fined another $800K or whatever it is to skip another game? We'll see. But it's apparent if this is the Jets defensive line that shows up in week 2, we're going to have problems. We need Reddick immediately. Now, looking at the offensive line, struggled in the running game on the inside. I felt like for the most part, the tackles looked okay. The pass protection was okay. The Jets offense showed an ability to move the ball at times, which was positive. And you can tell that Wilson and Rodgers have that connection. I mean, it's been well documented up to this point, but you just get the feeling after watching that game, Garrett's going to put up he's going to put up monster numbers this season. My fear is that nobody else really steps up. Brees was shaky, right? He had the touchdown, but had the drop, had the fumble, couldn't really get anything going. Just in his basic handoffs. Lazard had one pop play for 27 yards, but he had a drop. I mean, ask yourself this: did you hear Mike Williams' name get called in the first half, outside of when they were just describing the Jets signing him, or Malachi Corley, or Braylon Allen, or Tyler Conklin, or Xavier Gibson, or Jeremy Ruckert, or Isaiah Davis? Right? All of these guys that we were talking about all off season, guys that I'm super excited about, they just weren't even factored into the offense. Right? Like you're looking at the 49ers defense, they didn't shut these guys down, right? It's not, oh yeah, we shut all of those players down and Brees and dominated the O-line and controlled Garrett Wilson in the second half. It just didn't happen, right? At some point, you're thinking, okay, somebody else is going to emerge in the first month of the season. There's still kinks that are being ironed out. There's still rust on, a lot of these players, especially Mike Williams, right? Somebody who's missed the majority of training camp. But, who is going to be that other player that steps up? Because, again, it just kind of felt like it's Brees and Garrett, and that's pretty much it. And I think against Tennessee, we should find ways to get other players the football, especially if L'Jarius Sneed is following Garrett Wilson around and potentially doing a good job there. Rodgers needs to have trust in somebody else, and this is also up to Nathaniel Hackett in the prep throughout the week, right? They need to find some sort of matchup that they like, whether it's Mike Williams on the opposite side, whether it's a tight end or what have you. They need to do something outside of Garrett. Again, Garrett's going to get his numbers. He's going to do his thing. But when that isn't there, we just can't be, SOL. So, and last but not least, I think there's something to be said about the quick passing game. The kind of no huddle, hurry up and look. Of course, you can argue, look, it's garbage time. Is San Francisco really going to be, pressing that late into the game? When the short passing game, I felt like started to click again in the end, because San Francisco just doesn't want to get beat deep for an explosive play. So you just got to keep everybody in front of, keep everything in front of you pretty much. But I think, if we can get that going in the second quarter, end of the first quarter next week against Tennessee, I think that'll open everything up. I don't want to be going into these games with the defensive coordinator having a pretty good guess, a pretty good understanding of what we're going to do offensively. And again, that's up to Hackett, it's up to Saleh, it's up to Rodgers to figure these things out and get a little bit more creative on the offensive side of the football. You never want to be vanilla. You never want to be read like a book, right? When you're in that position, it's just a long day. So yeah, I think the quick passing game maybe could be cracked open a little bit earlier in the game. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on the pass rush, on the lack of run defense, and also too, do you think Reddick is going to show up? Do you think there's going to be something that gets done there? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and as always, go Jets.